Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Maro, and this is my gentle yoga class. I hope you can join me today for some yummy twisting postures on our backs and again on hands and knees. So go ahead and grab a few props that we'll need for class. A strap, yoga strap, or an exercise band work great, or even a scarf. And we'll need 2 blocks or something that resembles 2 blocks. And then we'll also need a bolster. And if you don't have a bolster, don't worry. You can just grab like a large decorative pillow from your couch or your bedroom. All right. And then you might also need a folded blanket, which I'm sitting on. So grab your props, jump into something comfortable, and I'll see you soon. Okay, everyone, let's get our yoga on. So make sure you have your strap handy near you so that you have access to it when you're lying down. And we'll use the blocks later. Don't worry about those. And you'll also want to make sure you have your bolster or your pillow close by so you can grab that easily. So let's begin lying down. Go ahead and lie yourself down on the mat. And we can find any reclined position that you want today. Okay, we could do constructive rest where the feet are nice and wide, knees fall in towards each other. You can let the legs go out straight. That might feel good on the low back, or maybe placing the legs on top of the bolster. Or you can do Supta Baddha Konasana, a reclined butterfly posture. Soles of the feet together, knees open wide. So your choice this morning, whatever feels good in your body, find that reclined position and settle in. Settle into this moment, settle into the body. If you're not comfortable, you still have time to make any changes so that you are comfortable for just the next few minutes as we begin our class together. And let's begin by setting an intention. Let's set an intention to connect with our inner observer, the part of us that has the ability to watch our thoughts, our feelings, and the body sensations. So may we connect with our inner observer for the duration of the class. And then may we also reconnect with our inner observer when our minds wander away. So, with that in mind, let's begin by observing the breath. Start to feel and follow the breath as it moves in and out of the body. You can breathe in and out of the nose today. That would be a preferred way to breathe, but you can always breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth if that feels a little better. Go ahead and place your hands on your torso. That always helps to find that deep breathing. So, one hand on maybe the belly, the other hand close to the low ribs. Maybe some fingers are touching the belly. And as you're observing your breathing, go ahead and stretch it out. Stretch it out in both directions, making your inhalation a little bit longer, allowing the exhalation to be longer, deeper. Taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths in such a way that makes your hands move. Observe if your belly is moving as you breathe in. Observe what happens as you breathe out. As you inhale, feel as though you're breathing in the balloon within your torso and everything is just stretching out in all the directions. Inhaling, the belly expands, the ribs expand. And then as you exhale, the air gently comes out of the balloon. Everything falls back down. So keep breathing like this, some nice deep breaths. A few more on your own before we connect our breathing as a group. Good. Release that exhale wherever you are in your breath cycle and inhale deeply into the belly, into the ribs. Exhale nice and slow. Another deep breath in. Let both hands move. Exhale, release that breath. Breathing in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. Big breath in. Fill the torso with so much breath. And exhale, gently release that breath. Beautiful job. Good breathing. Release the arms down. And let's find ourselves hugging the knees in towards the chest. So wherever you are, draw the knees in, give yourself a little squeeze. Pause for just a moment to notice what this feels like. And then decide if you'd like to rock side to side. See how that feels on the back. You don't have to do this if it doesn't feel good on your low back, just an option. Come back to center and let's release the feet down. Feet nice and wide, or as wide as you want them to be. Arms out to a T, and let's explore some windshield wipers here. So let the knees drop to one side. Gently come back up to center. Let them drop the other way. So nice and slow, explore this movement here, warming up the lower part of the body. Reconnect with your inner observer as you notice what this feels like in the low back and the low belly. Just bring your attention there with a mindful awareness. And then notice what it feels like in your inner and outer thighs. And lastly, see how this movement feels on the hips and the knees. 2 more rounds of deep breathing through your windshield wipers. And we'll come back to center, knees facing up towards the ceiling. Bring the feet close together. And then lift and shift your hips just like an inch or two to the right. Good. And then we'll let the legs fall to the left. See how well you can keep them stacked, like they're glued together. And you're working towards stacking the glutes to the hips, if that's possible. Good. A nice little recline twist, our first twist of the class. Take the left hand, gently hold on to the outer right thigh. If that feels okay, you can just gently pull the thigh down, a little more traction. So you can pull down as far as you want, reaching the right arm out. You might gaze over the right hand. Good. And just feel the lower part of your torso and the hips. Feel them turning to the left as the upper torso and the shoulders turn to the right. It's kind of an action, this interaction that you're creating here to encourage the twisting in the spine and the back. So let's hold for 2 more breaths, our first of many twists in our class today. Good. One more deep breath. And we'll gently come out of this, bring the knees up to center. Just a little round of windshield wipers side to side as a transition. A little bit of movement between the sides. And then we'll come back to neutral and we'll do the same thing. Feet together, lift and shift the hips over to the right, sorry, to the left, and let the legs fall to the right. Try to stack the hips to the best of your abilities. That'll feel really good if you have sacroiliac joint pain. So stack the glutes. You can even take your hand and just notice if one glute is on top of the other. Good. Right hand can gently guide the left thigh down. Left arm reaching out and over. So again, you're creating, or rather channeling this action of lower part of the torso, hips twisting to the right. Feel as though upper torso, shoulders turning to the left. And hold and breathe, observing the sensations in the back, in the belly as you find this gentle twist. One more breath here. And we'll gently release this, bringing the knees back up to center. Maybe just one quick round of windshield wipers. Nice big breath in, long, slow breath out. And we'll come back to center and let's find our bridge stance. So we have feet hip width apart. Your feet can be as close to your glutes as you want. If that doesn't feel good on the knees, you can always step the feet out a little further. Awesome. And let the arms rest by your sides and just bring your attention to your arms. We'll start with that first, but first find your breath. Nice big breath in, long, slow breath out. On your next inhale, reach to the fingertips and float the arms up and over as you breathe in the length of your inhale and let the arms float back down as you breathe out. Good. Finding your own rhythm here, inhaling a nice long slow inhale. Arms move overhead. Exhale, let the exhalation bring the arms back down. So really try to connect the breathing here with the movement. Allow the breath to move the arms. Good. One more round before we include some more movement. As you exhale, hug the right knee in. Inhale, release the right foot, arms overhead. And exhale, hug the left knee in. Breathing in, release the foot, arms overhead. We'll just continue to flow like this, side to side, nice and slow, reconnecting with our breath. See if you can connect with your inner observer as you move through this. Try not to let it be on autopilot. Stay connected with each breath. If you want to add a little gentle core work here, you can always play around with hugging belly in and up as you breathe out just before you hug the knee in. It's just a little gentle core activation. See if what that feels like for you. Inhaling, you can exhale, just a gentle belly in and up, hug the knee in. Good. Let's do one more on each side. And when you're done with that, the next time you exhale, hug both knees in and we'll hold and breathe here. One round of breath and send the legs up to the ceiling, feet up to the ceiling. Good. Arms overhead and really play around here with encouraging the toes to move towards your face, heel bones up to the ceiling. Just work towards straightening the legs. They don't have to be straight. It's okay. Do your best here. Just feel that stretch in the back of the legs. Good. A nice inhale here. And exhale, gently hug the knees in. Do that a few more times. Breathing in, stand on the ceiling, arms overhead. Exhale, hug it in. One more. Inhale, heel bones up, arms overhead. Exhale, hug. Good job. Release the feet down. Let's find mountain pose, lying down. So legs are straight. Straighten the legs out. Go ahead and smooth the buttocks towards the heels. Good. A gentle pressing of the heels into the mat. It's very gentle. Toes are up towards the ceiling. So we've got kind of active legs, right? Not overly engaging. Our body is awake as we're here in mountain pose. The feet can have some distance between them. Sometimes people like to bring them close together. That doesn't feel so good on my hips. So I like to have a little bit of space. Awesome. On an inhale, let's float the arms up and over. And exhale, just the arms, release them down. We'll do a few rounds just to connect with our breathing again. Inhaling, arms gently float up and over. Exhaling, release them down. Good. Just a few more before we include our legs in this movement. See if you can relax your face. Awesome. The next time you exhale, go ahead and hug that right knee in. Big breath in, releases the leg out, arms overhead. Exhale, hug the left knee in. Breathing in, release the leg, arms overhead. Exhale, switch sides. So let's do a bunch of rounds like this. Just mindful of our breath, observing the movement, noticing what this feels like. If you don't like this with the legs straight, you can always bend the knees like we did before. That's an option. And then you can play around with that gentle hugging in and up of the belly, little core activation before you hug the knee in. So you would exhale, belly in and up, feel your belly engage, and then hug the knee in. Try that for just two more rounds. There's no rush. Nowhere to go, nothing to do except for this movement. And the next time you hug the left knee in, let's hold that and breathe and relax the foot. If this is a little too intense, you can always back off the stretch as you breathe in, straightening the arms. Exhale, hug that knee in towards your armpit a little more. You can play around with that movement, inhaling, back off the stretch. Exhale, hug it in a little more. Good. Really relax the left foot. You might even look at it. Just let it flop down. That helps the knee relax, helps the hip relax. Good. But you do have an active right leg. If it's straight, if this doesn't feel good, you can always bend it. And let's find some rotations in the ankle. So make nice big circles with the left big toe in one direction. Breathe into that left ankle and rotate the other way. Nice big circles in the other direction. Relax the foot and let's go ahead and grab our strap. Hopefully that's somewhere close by, a strap or an exercise band. And let's place it under the sole of the left foot, either where the heel meets the arch. If you want something a little more intense, you'll place it closer to the mounds of the toes. And let's send that leg up. Let the foot be parallel with the ceiling. So we're not really pulling the leg. Let's not do that today. Let's just let the leg go up towards the ceiling. Good. Again, decide if you want the right leg straight or bent. And then a really cool way of holding the strap, you can loop the strap around your hands and straighten the arms so that you're using your upper back, triceps to hold the leg up instead of our biceps. If your elbows are bent, you're using your biceps. So decide what feels good, hold the strap, and let's wave it side to side a few times. The leg, I mean, let's wave the leg just a little to the right, a little to the left, just noticing what this feels like. You're not going really that far. See if you can keep your pelvis anchored so your hips aren't moving. It's just the leg that's waving side to side. And then find that place in the middle of these two extremes where you're going to hold this pose. You can even flex the foot and just find that first edge of resistance, that gentle stretch in the back of the left leg. Notice what this feels like. Observe the body sensations and breathe into them for 2 more breaths. Lovely. And let's release this down. That's round 1. We're going to come back again with that left leg. Just put the strap to the side. Release the legs down. Big breath in, arms up and over the head. Exhale, hug the right knee in and let's hold here. Good. Relax the right foot. Really relax it. So the knee relaxes, the hip relaxes. And if this is intense, you can bend the left leg, placing the foot on the mat. You can also play around with backing off the stretch as you breathe in, exhaling, hugging it in. As you breathe out, give it a little squeeze. Breathing in, you can back off. Breathing out, hugging the knee in towards your armpit. And you can, once you find a spot, you can stay there and breathe. Relax the right foot. Relax your face. One more deep breath here. And begin to make circles with the right big toe. Some movement for the ankle. Notice what this feels like. Reconnect with that kind, unbiased part of you. We have constant access to our inner observer. Rotate the other way, big circles. And relax the foot. And let's grab our strap again. We'll send that right leg up towards the ceiling. Place the strap or the exercise band or whatever you have under the sole of the right foot. All right, let's get ourselves set up. So see how you're holding it. If your elbows are bent, I mean, that might feel good for you. You're just using more of your biceps, or you can kind of loop the strap a couple times, straighten the arms, hold it closer to the foot. Awesome. And the leg doesn't have to come close to the body. We're just going to let it be up towards the ceiling, toes towards your face. And then just notice what the left leg is doing. Is it still in its mountain posture? If you want, you can bend that leg. It might feel better. So find a place. And then let's wave this leg side to side a few times, just noticing what this feels like, how this changes the stretch sensation. All the while breathing deeply. And then find that place between these two extremes where you're going to hold the leg. Nice gentle stretch. First edge of resistance. Find that. Stay there. Take a few deep breaths as you observe the sensations with so much kindness and curiosity. Connecting with that inner observer that allows you to witness things that are happening as they're happening without any reaction. One more breath. Good. We'll release this down. Come back to a neutral place for yourself. Do whatever feels good. Okay. My body's asking for a little bit of a constructive rest here. You might want to hug the knees in, maybe some windshield wipers. So every body is different. So do what feels good for you for just a few rounds of breathing. Good. And we'll all come back. This time, we're going to grab our bolsters. Okay. Set them up, have them ready. Either a bolster or a pillow would work really well. So let's start by placing the bolster on the right side. Okay. So we're going to place it on the right side of your body near your torso, closer to your hips. And you want it to be like maybe 2 feet away. So just to give you an idea, we're going to be landing on the bolster with our left leg. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like. All right, so once you get the bolster set up, make sure you have access to your strap. Let's straighten the legs out, mountain pose. Good, and then hug that left knee in towards your chest. Pause here for a moment. And we're going to explore round 2 here with the strap. So let's go ahead and grab the strap, place it under the sole of the foot, and send the leg up. And we'll hold here and breathe for a few rounds. Actually, if you have a strap, it's probably a good idea to hold the part that has the metal so you don't hit your face. I've done that before. Good. Hold here and breathe. Breathe into the back of the left leg, releasing any distractions that don't serve you in this moment. Connecting with your inner observer, that aspect of yourself that allows you to witness things like thoughts, feelings, sensations. So reconnect. We always have access to our inner observer. Lovely. So go ahead and hold the strap with the left hand now. So both sides of the strap, okay, with the left hand. And then let's start to open the leg out a little bit to the left, okay? Just a little bit. Let's do this in stages. So right hand maybe on the right hip, just as a reminder that the right hip needs to be anchored down. It likes to pop up when we do this. So just anchor that hip down as you slowly open that left leg out. Okay, you don't have to go too far to feel this. Turning the inner edge of the foot up towards the ceiling will help with the stretch. And if this is fine and you'd like to go further, you can open that leg out as far as you want. Ah, and maybe it lands on a pillow or a bolster. Mental note for next time, we should grab 2 bolsters. If this is too much, it's okay. You don't have to do it. Let me show you a modification. You would do a reclined tree pose. Literally, it's tree lying down. You could just bend the left leg, place the sole of the left foot on the inner part of your right thigh. So that's a nice little modification there. Keep that in mind. You could just do that. And you don't have to go too far in this to feel the stretch in the inner left thigh. Let's just hold for 2 more breaths. You've got this. Awesome. Bring it back to center. Good. And we'll change how we're holding the strap. Take the right hand, grab a hold of the strap on both sides. Good. And now we'll begin to twist. So let's let the left foot move towards that bolster on the right side. You have to start to turning your hips so you land on the bolster. So you're on the outer part of your right hip, and the outer part of your right foot is on the mat. Okay. Stack those hips. Good. A nice gentle twisting here. If the leg is bent, that's okay. You can work towards straightening that leg and just let the bolster be a little further down towards the feet. This might work too, or it can be bent on the bolster. Good. You want to come back to that twisting sensation. So let's reach the left arm to the left and turn your gaze to the left. Good. So let's encourage the action of twisting. So feel the low belly, low back, your hips turning to the right. Okay. And then the upper torso, your shoulders, upper body turning to the left. Good. If you're happy where you are, breathe and just notice what this feels like. Let that hold your attention. Like it's the most interesting thing that's happened today is just being in this shape and noticing the sensations. One more breath here. Good. The best way to come out of this, in my opinion, is to release the strap, bend that leg, and just come back to neutral. Awesome job, everyone. We'll go ahead and take that bolster and we'll place it on the other side. Okay. That's probably the hardest part of the class, right here. Just taking the bolster. Ooh, put it on the other side. So you have something to land on. Grab a hold of your strap. Let's release the legs down. You might need a moment to just pause and observe what that deep twisting felt like in the body. Observe with so much kindness, without pride or judgment, without any reaction. Lovely. Go ahead and hug that right knee in as we get up, get ready for the other side. Pause, relax that right foot for a moment. Nice deep breath here. And grab that strap. We'll send the right leg up to the ceiling. All right, round 2 on the right leg. So decide what you want to do with the left leg. You can always bend it, place the left foot on the mat, or you can leave it straight. It's totally up to you. Encourage the heel bone to reach up to the ceiling, the toes to come towards your face. Just pause here and breathe into the back of the right foot. Observe what this side feels like. It might feel different than the left side, and that's okay. Just take inventory of the differences. And then we'll hold the strap with the right hand. Slowly begin to open that leg up to the right as far as you want to go. Left hand maybe on the left hip. We want to encourage the hip to stay down as that right leg opens out to the right. You can go as far as you want. If this is just not working for you today, you can always do a reclined tree pose as a modification, something different. Okay. And if you have two pillows handy, maybe you place one on the right side. You can let that leg drop onto a pillow. So you have the sensation that something's holding your leg up rather than that feeling that you're pulling the strap. Good. Hold and breathe. Let's breathe. Two more deep breaths. You can always come out of this if you need to. One more deep breath. Gently come back up to center. And let's change how we're holding the strap. Go ahead and grab both sides with the left hand. Okay, release that right arm down. And let's start to turn and twist to the left. So let that right leg just move over to the left. Maybe it finds the bolster. You're kind of turning your hips so you can land on the outer part of your left hip. Good. Glutes are stacked. That'll help with any sacroiliac joint pain. And then encourage the upper torso to release to the right. And then you'll notice the outer part of my left foot is just resting on the mat. So I've completely turned the lower part of my body. Awesome. Pause and breathe here. Breathe and just notice the sensations of stretch with our twist on this side. One more breath here. And then to come out of this, you can just bend the knee, release the strap, and just turn yourself back to center. Awesome. Do anything that you need here as a transition before we come on to hands and knees. And then let's hug the knees into the chest. Fall to one side. Pause for a moment before you press yourself up to a seat. And then we'll come on to hands and knees, neutral tabletop. I like to take my folded blanket, place it under my knees. So you could do that as well for a little extra padding. And then go ahead and grab your blocks so you have them handy and place them at the top of the mat on either side. We'll be using those in a little bit. Good. Neutral tabletop. So knees are under your hips and your hands are a little under your shoulders, but a little more forward, I think feels good. That's what I've been playing around with recently. Creates a little more space. So the hands are in line with your face. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Let's tuck the toes and find a little movement. So inhaling, lean right and forward just a little bit. Exhaling left and back. Maybe you sit on the heels. You don't have to. Just gives the wrists a little break when you move further back. So inhaling right and forward. You're in control of how much you challenge the wrists. Exhaling left and back. Let's do one more in that direction. Spreading the fingers. They like to go back in, so keep spreading them out. And let's change the direction. Inhaling left and forward. Exhale right and back. Breathing in left and forward. Breathing out right and back. Do one more on your own. And come back up to neutral. You can untuck the toes. As you inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. And exhale, round and tuck in cat pose. Unless you have osteoporosis, you can just stay with a neutral back. We don't want to round the back. So inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale to neutral or cat pose. A few more on your own. Big breath in, arch the spine. Big breath in to neutral or round the spine. One more. Lovely. Come back to neutral tabletop. Let's grab our blocks. You can um, use the lower height, the medium. I wouldn't recommend using the high one. You could, but it's a little less stable. So be careful if you're using the high setting. Let's place the blocks under the hands. Step the right foot forward. Good. And then notice if the hips are squared. Okay. Sometimes if the right foot is forward, then I have to pull the right hip back a little, left hip forward, just to get them squared. And then shoulders away from ears. Inhale, rock forward into this low, low lunge. And as you exhale, send the hips back, like on a straight line, like someone's pulling the hips back. Good. Inhaling to rock forward, shoulders away from ears. Exhaling to send the hips back on a straight line for this half splits pose. So just do a few more rounds like this. Stay connected to your breathing. Stay connected to your inner observer as you move through this. And the next time you inhale, you can play around with just a gentle twist to the right. And exhale, bring the hand back down and send the hips back. So inhaling, maybe the right hand touches the right thigh, encouraging you to twist just a little, shoulders away from ears. Exhale, send the hips back. So this is a nice long breath, right? Inhaling to rock forward, introducing the body for a different way of twisting. Exhaling, soften the body as you send the hips back. Let's do one more before we hold the twist. On your next inhale, rock forward, and let's stay in that twisting position. So right hand on right knee, right hand on right thigh, and then really encourage yourself to twist from your waist and your ribs without moving the hips too much. Okay, shoulders away from ears. If you want something deeper, left hand can come onto the mat. If you want something even more deeper, you can place the left elbow on the outer part of the right thigh. This is optional. Finding prayer twist. This is a really deep twist. So be mindful of how far you want to go here. Let's hold for two more breaths. Let's notice how challenging it is to breathe in this pose, but see if you can create some space for your breath. Soften your face. One more breath. Lovely. And we'll release this down. Let's find child's pose as a little break between the sides. Give our wrists a little break so you can send the hips back as far as they can go. Maybe the forehead rests on a block. If you don't like child's pose, you can always come up onto your knees like this and just find a little rotation in the wrists. It's your choice. Wherever you are, let's just pause and take 3 deep breaths. One more long, slow breath in, long, deep breath out. And as you inhale, gently come back up to tabletop again, placing the blocks on either side to prepare yourself. Step that left leg through. Awesome. Check in with the hips. Let's make sure the hips are squared. So if the left leg is moving forward, it makes your left hip move forward. So pull that left hip back a little, right hip forward. See how that feels? Squaring the hips once you've got that. Inhaling, rock forward to your low, low lunge, shoulders away from ears. And exhale to send the hips back on a straight line. That left leg doesn't have to straighten. Don't worry. Inhaling, low lunge. Exhaling to half splits. Let's do a bunch more rounds, warming up this side, moving with the breath, and noticing the sensations in the body. And the next time you come forward as you inhale, you can add the twist, left hand on left thigh, just a gentle twist. As you exhale, left hand on the block, send the hips back. And go back and forth like this. A nice long breath to get into a twist prep. A nice long exhale to send the hips back. Next time you come into your twist, let's hold it. You can start with the left hand on the left thigh, shoulders away from ears. Try to twist more from your belly than your hips. And you can play around with different levels of the block or placing the hand on the mat. You can even bring the right elbow on the outer part of the left thigh. That's a really deep twist. So be mindful of how far you want to go. Okay. Let's hold for 2 deep breaths. Try to create some space for your breathing here in this twist. And release this down. Ooh, you can put the blocks to the side. We won't need them anymore. Come into a tabletop position. Spread the fingers. Big breath in for cow pose. Big breath out for neutral or cat pose. Good. Do one more. Inhaling, arch the spine. Exhaling to neutral or round the spine. Good. Come back to neutral tabletop and let's get prepared for my favorite kind of twisting. Thread the needle. So right hand, we'll start with that. Let the right hand, right arm reach out and up. Here's a little twisting action in and of itself. And as you exhale, thread that arm under the left arm. Land on that right shoulder, right side of the head. Good. And then maybe the left hand presses into the mat above your head or somewhere near your head. The left fingertips can go up towards the ceiling, or maybe they just drape by your low back. So find that place. I like to press the back of my right arm and hand gently into the mat and press into the left hand. Good. This is a pretty deep twist. If you don't like this, you can always come into a seat. This is a great modification and just twist. Okay, so we're twisting to the right. Awesome. So wherever you are, take one more deep breath. And as you inhale, The right arm comes out and up towards the ceiling again. Another little mini twist here and release it down. Good. 2 cat cows between sides. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale to neutral or round the spine. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Come back to neutral tabletop. Breathing in, left arm out and up. A little baby twist here. As you exhale, thread that arm under the right arm. Land on the left shoulder. Right arm can go up over your head, pressing into the mat, or up towards the ceiling or at your low back. Find that place that helps you find a nice, yummy twist. Breathe into that. And of course, if you don't like threading the needle, if it just doesn't feel good, come up to a seat and just do the other side. Same thing. So let's take 2 more deep breaths. Again, it's hard to breathe deeply when you're twisting. So see where you can create some space for your breath. And on an inhale, bring that right hand close to your face, press into it, left arm out and up. Lovely. Place that hand down. Good. 2 cat cows. Breathing in, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale to neutral or round the spine. Good. Inhale, lift the tailbone, lift your chest. Exhale, round and tuck. Beautiful job, everyone. Let's find child's pose. Oh, winding it down. You can make a pillow for yourself. Release all the effort here. Connect with your inner observer as you notice the sensations from twisting today in class. Notice what the body is telling you with kindness, curiosity, without any judgment. One more deep breath here in child's pose. And we'll slowly come up to find a seat for a short meditation together. Maybe you use the bolster that we used in our reclined twisting. You can sit on it cross-legged. If you don't feel like sitting today, you don't have to. You can lie down or straddle a bolster or a stack of blocks like I showed you last week. So wherever you are, settle in. Maybe you close your eyes. That might feel good. You don't have to close your eyes if you don't want to. Just find a spot in front of you to focus on. And allow the legs and the pelvis to feel really grounded and heavy. Lengthen through the spine. In fact, I want you to feel like you have an eye bag or like a little bag of beans on the crown of your head, and you're just pushing into it to find a little more length. Awesome. Relax the shoulders, relax your face. Connect with your inner observer here as you feel and follow the breath. Know that you can do this. I believe in you. We all have the ability to connect with our inner observer. We all have that seed of mindfulness and concentration. So go ahead and feel and follow just 5 breaths. Let's start with that. And the mind likes to wander away. It's okay if it does. Don't feel bad. Just gently bring it back. Let's do 5 more rounds of breathing. Feel and follow the breath as it comes into the body and as it leaves the body. Good job. Now that we have this stable, clear, calm attention, let's broaden the scope of our attention, reconnecting with your inner observer. See if you can just watch what's happening as it's happening. So we watch the movement of our bodies, the movement of our breath. You might even notice the activities of the mind. Just watch the thoughts, maybe memories, distractions, to do lists. You might notice emotions come up. See if you can observe them, or there might be body sensations speaking to you. Notice those as well without any judgment, without reacting. Remember that your inner observer is always with you. It's that aspect of yourself that allows you to witness your thoughts, your emotions, your body sensations. And we cultivate it by paying attention with mindful awareness, just like we did in our class. So know you can always get in touch with your inner observer that exists in the present moment. So if you're really enjoying your seated meditation, you're enjoying watching the activities of the mind or anything else that's coming up for you, you can stay. Otherwise, I invite you to lie down for just 2 minutes to rest in Shavasana so we can let the body absorb the practice. without moving quite yet. Take a moment to observe the sensations in the body again. Just notice how you feel. Notice how the back feels, your hips, your knees, your neck. And then you might begin to wiggle fingers and toes ever so gently, just bringing some movement back. And feel free to reach the arms overhead. Take a nice breath in, a big inhalation, and you can hug the knees in as you breathe out. Rocking side to side, falling to one side. Pause before you come up. Let's try to take this inner observer with us into the day. So gently press yourself up to a seat. And we can end the class together. Bring your palms together, hands at heart. Bow your head towards your heart. Thank you so much for joining me today. I wish you all a lovely day. Namaste.